You are building such a strong foundation with every single one of these practice runs. The key to true fluency isn't just knowing the words, it's about having the confidence to use them in any situation, especially the slightly more stressful ones. So, let's step into a scenario that can feel a little intimidating, dealing with a mistake on a bill. It could be your phone bill, your electricity bill, or any service you subscribe to. The principles are always the same: stay calm, be clear, and be polite. Let's imagine you've received your monthly internet bill, and you notice a charge that you don't recognize. It's higher than it should be. Your first step is to call the customer service department. You'll start the call just like any other. You could say, "Hello, I'm calling today to ask about a charge on my recent internet bill." Let's practice that opening line together. Repeat it after me. "Hello, I'm calling today to ask about a charge on my recent internet bill." Now you try it. The customer service agent will likely respond with something like, "Of course, I can help you with that. Could I please have your account number and your name?" You'll provide your information clearly. For example, "Yes, my name is Alex Miller, and my account number is 987-654-321. Then, you need to explain the issue. Be specific but concise. You could say, "Thank you. I'm looking at my bill dated October 15th, and I see a charge for a premium movie package that I don't believe I signed up for." Let's break that down and practice it. Repeat after me. "I'm looking at my bill dated October 15th, and I see a charge for a premium movie package that I don't believe I signed up for." Excellent. The key here is that you are not being accusatory. You are stating a fact and expressing your belief. Using phrases like "I don't believe I signed up for" is much softer and more effective than saying "you charged me for something I didn't order." It opens the door for a collaborative solution rather than a confrontation. The agent might then say, "I see. Let me investigate that for you. Please hold for a moment." When they return, they might confirm it was a mistake. They could say, "Thank you for waiting. It appears that charge was added in error. I have now removed it from your bill." Your response should be one of gratitude. You can say, "That's wonderful news. Thank you so much for your help in resolving this." Let's practice that final, positive closing. Repeat after me. "That's wonderful news. Thank you so much for your help in resolving this." Now, let's put the entire conversation together in a shadowing exercise. I will say each line, and you will repeat it right after me. This will help you with the rhythm and flow of the conversation. Are you ready? Let's begin. "Hello, I'm calling today to ask about a charge on my recent internet bill." Your turn. "Of course, I can help you with that. Could I please have your account number and your name?" Now you respond with your details. "Thank you. I'm looking at my bill dated October 15th, and I see a charge for a premium movie package that I don't believe I signed up for." Your turn. "I see. Let me investigate that for you. Please hold for a moment. Thank you for waiting. It appears that charge was added in error. I have now removed it from your bill." Now you. "That's wonderful news. Thank you so much for your help in resolving this." Your turn. Handling situations like this politely and effectively is a massive confidence booster. You've just learned how to advocate for yourself in English, and that is a powerful skill. You've just proven you can handle a tricky situation with confidence, and that's a huge step forward. Now, let's shift our focus from solving problems to actively creating opportunities. We're going to tackle a scenario that many people find nerve-wracking, but with the right approach, you can manage it with complete professionalism, following up on a job application. Picture this: you've submitted your application for a job you're truly excited about. A week or so has gone by, and you want to demonstrate that you are proactive and still very interested. A well-executed, polite phone call can leave a lasting, positive impression. When you dial the company's number, your first point of contact will probably be a receptionist. It is crucial to state who you are and the purpose of your call with absolute clarity. A great way to start is, "Hello, my name is Alex Miller. I'm calling to follow up on an application I submitted for the marketing assistant position." Let's practice that powerful opening. It is both direct and professional. Repeat it after me. "Hello, my name is Alex Miller. I'm calling to follow up on an application I submitted for the marketing assistant position." Now it's your turn to say it. The person who answers might reply with, "Thank you, let me see who you should speak with." "One moment, please." They will likely transfer your call to the hiring manager or someone in the human resources department. When the new person answers, you will introduce yourself once more and clearly state your purpose. You can say, "Hello, my name is Alex Miller. I submitted an application for the marketing assistant role last week, and I wanted to briefly follow up and reiterate my strong interest in the opportunity." This is a fantastic sentence. The word reiterate means to say something again, for emphasis or clarity, and it sounds exceptionally professional. Let's practice that key phrase. Repeat after me. "I wanted to briefly follow up and reiterate my strong interest in the opportunity." Wonderful. The hiring manager's response can vary. A common one is, "Thank you for following up, Alex. We are currently in the process of reviewing all applications and will be in touch shortly." In this situation, a simple and polite closing is your best option. You can reply, "That's great to hear. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to hearing from you." Let's practice that courteous response. Repeat after me. "That's great to hear. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to hearing from you." Now, let's combine this into a complete shadowing exercise. Imagine you have just been transferred to the hiring manager. I will be the manager, and you will deliver your lines with confidence. You can begin by introducing yourself. "Thank you for following up, Alex. We are currently in the process of reviewing all applications and will be in touch shortly." Now, you respond. That was a perfect, professional interaction. By making that call, you have placed your name at the forefront of their minds and showcased your excellent communication skills and genuine enthusiasm for the role. These are the small actions that can make a significant difference in your professional journey. You are learning to communicate your value, and that is an incredible asset. That was outstanding. You've navigated the professional world with poise and confidence. Now, let's bring our skills into another essential part of life: community and family interactions. We're going to practice a phone call that is incredibly important for any parent or guardian, which is arranging a meeting with a child's teacher. This type of call is all about being clear, respectful, and collaborative. Let's set the stage. You want to have a conversation with your child's teacher, perhaps to discuss their recent progress or to ask a question about an upcoming school project. Your first call will likely be to the school's main office, where an administrator will answer. You can begin with a very clear and polite opening. Hello, I would like to arrange a brief meeting with Mrs. Davis, the third-grade teacher. My daughter, Sarah Miller, is in her class. This opening is perfect because it provides the administrator with all the necessary information right away: your purpose, the teacher's name, and your child's name for context. Let's practice it. Repeat after me. Hello, I would like to arrange a brief meeting with Mrs. Davis, the third-grade teacher. My daughter, Sarah Miller, is in her class. Now you say it. The administrator might transfer you directly to the teacher or to their voicemail. Let's imagine you get to speak with the teacher directly. You'll want to introduce yourself again and state your purpose in a way that is respectful of their time. You can say, "Hello, Mrs. Davis. This is Alex Miller, Sarah's parent. I was hoping to schedule a brief 10-minute call with you sometime this week to touch base about her progress." Let's analyze that powerful sentence. To touch base is a wonderful, friendly idiom that simply means to make contact or to check in. Specifying a brief 10-minute call is incredibly important. It shows that you value the teacher's busy schedule and makes it much easier for them to agree to a conversation. Let's practice that key sentence. Repeat after me. I was hoping to schedule a brief 10-minute call with you sometime this week to touch base about her progress. Excellent. A teacher will almost always respond positively to such a thoughtful and polite request. She might say, "Of course, Alex. I'd be happy to speak with you. Would tomorrow afternoon around 3:30 p.m. work for you?" Your confirmation should be just as clear and appreciative. You can reply, "Yes, that works perfectly for me. Thank you so much. I'll look forward to speaking with you tomorrow at 3:30. Let's practice that confirmation. Repeat after me. "Yes, that works perfectly for me. Thank you so much. I'll look forward to speaking with you tomorrow at 3:30. Now for our shadowing practice. Imagine I am the teacher, Mrs. Davis, and you are the parent. You have just been connected to me on the phone. You can start the conversation now. Of course, Alex. I'd be happy to speak with you. Would tomorrow afternoon around 3:30 p.m. work for you?" Now, you respond. Wonderful. You have just successfully arranged an important meeting, demonstrating respect and clarity. This kind of communication builds a positive relationship with your child's school and shows that you are an engaged, supportive parent. Every one of these scenarios is another tool in your communication toolkit. You are doing an absolutely fantastic job. You've mastered making professional calls and important personal calls. Now, let's switch gears and practice a different but equally crucial skill: handling unexpected incoming calls. Not every conversation is one you plan to make. Sometimes, your phone rings, and you have to be ready to think on your feet, responding clearly and confidently in the moment. Let's imagine a very common situation. Your phone rings with a number you don't recognize. You decide to answer cautiously. A simple hello is a perfect and safe way to start. The person on the other end of the line says, "Hello, my name is David, and I'm calling from a market research company. We're conducting a short survey about local community services. Do you have about 5 minutes to share your opinions?" At this moment, you have a choice to make. You can either agree to participate or you can politely decline. Both are perfectly acceptable responses, and knowing how to deliver each one is a vital communication skill. First, let's explore Path A, agreeing to participate. If you have the time and are willing to share your thoughts, you can express your willingness with a simple, positive phrase. You could say, I see. Yes, I have a few minutes to spare. I'd be happy to help. The phrase to spare is a wonderful idiom that means you have extra time available. It sounds very natural. Let's practice that line. Repeat after me, yes, I have a few minutes to spare. I'd be happy to help. Now, let's explore Path B, which is just as important, politely declining. It is always your right not to participate in something, and you can do so without being rude. Here are a few excellent options for ending the call gracefully. A very direct, yet still polite option is, I'm sorry, but I'm not interested. Thank you. A softer option that provides a polite reason is, thank you for the call, but I'm afraid I'm in the middle of something right now. And a very firm but exceptionally courteous option is, I appreciate you reaching out, but I'd prefer not to participate. Have a good day. This last one is my personal favorite because it is so respectful yet leaves no room for negotiation. I appreciate you reaching out acknowledges their effort. I'd prefer not to is a powerful and polite way to state your personal decision. Let's do a mini drill for these polite refusals. Mastering this skill will build immense confidence. Repeat each one after me. I'm sorry, but I'm not interested. Thank you. Your turn. Thank you for the call, but I'm afraid I'm in the middle of something right now. Your turn. I appreciate you reaching out, but I'd prefer not to participate. Have a good day. Your turn. Excellent. Being able to say no politely is a communication superpower. It allows you to control your time and your conversations with grace. You never need to feel guilty or invent complicated excuses. A simple, clear, and polite refusal is always respected. You've now practiced how to engage and how to disengage, all while maintaining a confident tone. This versatility is what makes a truly effective communicator. Your ability to manage different types of conversations is growing with every single session. You can initiate planned calls, handle unexpected ones, and end any interaction with grace and confidence. Now, let's step up the complexity just a little bit. We're going to practice a scenario that requires you to listen, perform an action, and then report back, all within a single phone call. We are going to troubleshoot a technical problem. Let's imagine your home internet connection has suddenly stopped working. You've already performed the most basic step, which is to restart your modem and router, but unfortunately, it didn't solve the problem. Now it is time to call your internet service provider for assistance. You'll want to start the call by clearly stating the problem and, very importantly, the step you have already taken. This saves time and shows the agent that you've been proactive. You can say, "Hello, I'm calling because my internet service has stopped working. I've already tried restarting my modem and router." Let's practice that efficient opening line. Repeat after me, "Hello, I'm calling because my internet service has stopped working. I've already tried restarting my modem and router." Now you try it. The support agent on the other end will appreciate that information. They might respond with, "I'm sorry to hear you're having trouble. Let me check your connection from my end. Could you please look at your modem and tell me which lights are currently lit up?" Now you need to describe exactly what you see. This might require some specific vocabulary. You could say, "Yes, I see a solid green power light and a flashing receive light, but the send and online lights are both off." Let's practice that descriptive sentence. Repeat after me. I see a solid green power light and a flashing receive light, but the send and online lights are both off. The agent will use this information for their next step. They might say, "Okay, thank you for that detail. I'm going to send a refresh signal to your modem from our system. This process can take up to 5 minutes. Please keep an eye on the lights and let me know when the online light turns solid green." After a few minutes, you see a change. You report back with the good news, "Okay, I'm watching it, and yes, the online light is now solid green. I think it's working again." The agent will confirm on their end, "Excellent. I'm showing a stable connection on my side now as well. Is there anything else I can assist you with today?" Your final response is simple and full of gratitude. "No, that was it. Thank you so much for your help." Now, let's shadow this entire multi-step process. I will be the support agent. You can start the call. "I'm sorry to hear you're having trouble. Let me check your connection from my end. Could you please look at your modem and tell me which lights are currently lit up?" Now you respond. "Okay, thank you for that detail. I'm going to send a refresh signal to your modem from our system. This process can take up to 5 minutes. Please keep an eye on the lights and let me know when the online light turns solid green." Imagine waiting a few minutes. Now you can report the good news. "Excellent. I'm showing a stable connection on my side now as well. Is there anything else I can assist you with today?" Now you close the call. Fantastic. That was a much more complex interaction, and you handled it perfectly. You listened to instructions, provided clear information, and navigated the conversation to a successful resolution. This is a huge milestone. You navigated that technical support call like a true professional. That ability to listen, follow instructions, and communicate clearly, especially when you might be feeling frustrated, is a sign of real and meaningful progress. Let's now move to another very practical, real-world scenario that you will almost certainly encounter: calling a pharmacy to refill a prescription. This is a common task that requires you to be clear and accurate with the information you provide. Imagine you are running low on a medication and you need to order a refill. You have the medicine bottle in your hand, so you have all the necessary information ready to go. This is a key tip for so many phone calls: always be prepared before you dial the number. It makes the entire process smoother and faster. You call the pharmacy. You can start the conversation with a very direct and clear request. You can say, "Hello, I would like to request a refill for a prescription, please." Let's practice that simple and effective opening. Repeat after me. "Hello, I would like to request a refill for a prescription, please." Now it's your turn. The pharmacy technician or pharmacist will then ask for the specific details they need to find your file. They might say, "Of course. Could I have the prescription number, please?" It should be on the label of your medication bottle. Because you are prepared, you can provide this information smoothly and without hesitation. You would say, "Yes, the prescription number is RX 789-456. The name on the prescription is Alex Miller." Let's practice providing those crucial details. Repeat after me. Yes, the prescription number is RX 789-456. The name on the prescription is Alex Miller. The technician will then confirm the information and give you a time frame for when it will be ready. They might say, "Thank you, Mr. Miller. I see it right here. We can have that ready for you to pick up in about 1 hour." Your final step is to confirm that the time works for you and to express your thanks. You can say, "That's perfect. I will come by in about an hour. Thank you so much for your help." Let's practice that polite closing. Repeat after me. That's perfect. I will come by in about an hour. Thank you so much for your help. Now, sometimes there might be a small complication. For instance, you might be out of refills. The technician would say, "It looks like there are no refills remaining on this prescription. We will need to contact your doctor for authorization." In that case, your response would be, "Oh, I see. Could you please go ahead and contact them for me? Thank you." This shows you understand and gives them permission to proceed. For our shadowing practice today, let's focus on the successful refill scenario. I will be the pharmacy technician. You can start the call. Of course. Could I have the prescription number, please? It should be on the label of the bottle. Now you respond. Thank you, Mr. Miller. I see it right here. We can have that ready for you to pick up in about 1 hour. Now you confirm and close the call. Excellent work. You handled that essential task with ease and precision. Every one of these calls you master makes your daily life in an English-speaking environment that much easier and more manageable. You are building a complete set of skills for total communication confidence. You are doing an incredible job mastering these essential daily tasks. From navigating technical support to handling pharmacy refills, your skills are becoming more and more versatile and robust. Now, let's shift our focus from necessary errands to something more social and enjoyable, planning a meal out with a friend. We're going to practice calling a restaurant, not to make a reservation, but to ask an important question about their menu. This scenario is extremely common, especially when you or someone you are dining with has a dietary restriction, an allergy, or a specific food preference. Calling ahead of time is a very thoughtful and safe thing to do, and it shows great consideration. Let's imagine you want to take a friend to a new restaurant, but your friend has a significant dietary need, like a gluten allergy. You need to make sure they will have safe and delicious options to eat before you commit to going. You call the restaurant. You can start the conversation by clearly stating that you just have a question. You could say, "Hello, I'm calling with a quick question about your menu." This is a great opening because it immediately lets the staff know that you are not making a reservation and that you just need a moment of their time for some information. Let's practice it. Repeat after me. Hello, I'm calling with a quick question about your menu. Now it's your turn. Now for the most important part, asking about the specific dietary needs. You want to be as clear as possible. You could say, "I'm planning to dine with you this evening, and my friend has a gluten allergy. I was just wondering if you have good gluten-free options available." Let's analyze that question. You mention that you are a potential customer planning to dine with you. You clearly state the dietary need, gluten allergy. And you ask a direct, polite question, "I was just wondering if." This is a perfect way to phrase your inquiry. Let's practice that key question. Repeat after me. I'm planning to dine with you this evening, and my friend has a gluten allergy. I was just wondering if you have good gluten-free options available. A good restaurant will be well prepared for this question. The host might say, "Thank you so much for calling ahead to check." Yes, we do. We have a dedicated gluten-free pasta we can use for most of our pasta dishes, and several of our main courses are naturally gluten-free. Please just make sure to inform your server about the allergy when you order. This is the kind of reassuring answer you want to hear. Your response should show your appreciation. You can say, "That's wonderful to hear. Thank you so much for your help. That gives me great peace of mind." The phrase peace of mind is a fantastic idiom that means a feeling of being safe, calm, and without worry. Let's practice that closing. Repeat after me. That's wonderful to hear. Thank you so much for your help. That gives me great peace of mind. Now, let's put it all together in a shadowing exercise. I will be the restaurant host. You can start the call. Thank you so much for calling ahead to check. Yes, we do. We have a dedicated gluten-free pasta we can use for most of our pasta dishes, and several of our main courses are naturally gluten-free. Please just make sure to inform your server about the allergy when you order. Now, you respond. Fantastic. You've just ensured a safe and enjoyable dining experience for your friend. This kind of thoughtful communication is a hallmark of a truly fluent and considerate speaker. You're not just speaking English, you're using it to care for others. That was beautifully done. Using your language skills not just for necessary tasks but also to ensure a pleasant and safe social experience is a wonderful milestone. Now, let's tackle a scenario that many native speakers themselves find stressful: calling an airline to change a flight. This type of call requires you to be organized, to listen very carefully to details like fees and fare differences, and to clearly confirm the changes you want to make. Let's set the scene. You have a flight booked for this coming Friday, but your plans have unexpectedly changed, and you now need to fly on Sunday instead. Before you call, you do the most important thing: you prepare. You find your booking confirmation email and write down your 6-digit confirmation code. Being prepared is half the battle. When you call an airline, you often have to navigate an automated menu first. But let's imagine you've pressed the right buttons and you are now speaking to a customer service agent. You can start by stating your goal clearly and directly. You can say, "Hello, I need to make a change to an existing flight reservation." Let's practice that direct opening. Repeat after me. "Hello, I need to make a change to an existing flight reservation." Now it's your turn. The airline agent will then ask for your booking details. They will likely say something like, "Certainly. Can I please have your 6-digit confirmation code and the last name on the reservation?" You, being prepared, will provide it clearly. "Yes, the confirmation code is YG3BKP, and the last name is Miller." Next, you need to state exactly what change you want to make. Be as specific as possible with dates and times. You can say, "I'm currently booked on the 10 a.m. flight to Chicago on Friday, October 25th. I need to change that to the same flight on Sunday, October 27th. Let's practice that specific request. Repeat after me. I'm currently booked on the 10 a.m. flight to Chicago on Friday, October 25th. I need to change that to the same flight on Sunday, October 27th. Now comes the most important part of the call: listening carefully. The agent will check the availability and explain any costs. They might say, "Okay, let me check that for you." "Yes, there are seats available on Sunday." According to your ticket's rules, there is a $50 change fee plus the difference in airfare. The flight on Sunday is $30 more, so the total cost to make the change will be $80. Would you like me to proceed? You need to confirm that you understand and agree. You can say, "Yes, I understand. Please go ahead with the change." The agent will finalize the booking and confirm with you one last time. They'll say, "All right, I have made that change. You are now confirmed for the flight to Chicago on Sunday the 27th. You will receive an updated confirmation email shortly." Your final response is one of thanks. Perfect. Thank you so much for your assistance today. Let's do a shadowing exercise for this important call. I will be the airline agent. You can start the call. Certainly. Can I please have your 6-digit confirmation code and the last name on the reservation? Now you respond. Okay, let me check that for you. Yes, there are seats available on Sunday. According to your ticket's rules, there is a $50 change fee plus the difference in airfare. The flight on Sunday is $30 more, so the total cost to make the change will be $80. Would you like me to proceed? Now you confirm. All right, I have made that change. You are now confirmed for the flight to Chicago on Sunday the 27th. You will receive an updated confirmation email shortly. Now you close the call. You just handled a complex, high-stakes conversation with incredible clarity and confidence. This is a massive achievement. Handling that airline call was a masterclass in staying calm and clear under pressure. You are truly becoming ready for any situation. Now, let's shift our focus from transactional conversations to something deeply personal and relational. We're going to practice one of the most important, and sometimes one of the most difficult, conversations you can have in any language: calling a friend to sincerely apologize. This kind of call is not about getting a service or changing a booking, it is about mending a connection and showing you care. The words you choose, and especially the sincere tone you use, are incredibly important. Let's imagine the scenario: you were supposed to meet a friend for coffee this morning, but you completely forgot about it. You stood them up, and you feel awful. You need to call them and make it right. When you make this call, you should get straight to the point. This is not the time for small talk about the weather. You can open with, "Hi, Sarah. It's Alex. I am calling to sincerely apologize." This opening immediately shows the seriousness of your call and that you are taking full responsibility for your actions. Let's practice it. Repeat after me. "Hi, Sarah. It's Alex. I am calling to sincerely apologize." Now it's your turn. Now for the heart of the apology. It is crucial to own your mistake completely, without making excuses. You could say, "I am so incredibly sorry that I missed our coffee date this morning. I have no good excuse, it completely slipped my mind, and I feel terrible for leaving you waiting. I was really looking forward to seeing you." Let's analyze this powerful apology. Incredibly sorry is much stronger than just sorry. I have no good excuse is a key phrase for taking full ownership. It slipped my mind is a common and honest idiom for forgetting something. And stating that you feel terrible and were looking forward to it reinforces how much you value the friendship. Let's practice that apology. Repeat after me and try to use a sincere tone of voice. I am so incredibly sorry that I missed our coffee date this morning. I have no good excuse, it completely slipped my mind, and I feel terrible for leaving you waiting. A good friend will likely be understanding and gracious. They might say, "Oh, Alex, thank you for calling. I was a bit worried, but please don't feel terrible. These things happen to everyone." A true apology often includes an offer to make things right. This is called making amends. You can say, "I really appreciate you being so understanding. I would love to make it up to you. Are you free to try again later this week? Lunch would be on me." To make it up to you and it's on me are fantastic idioms here. On me simply means I will pay. Let's practice that. Repeat after me, I would love to make it up to you. Are you free to try again later this week? Lunch would be on me. Now, let's shadow the whole conversation. I will be your friend, Sarah. You can start the call. "Oh, Alex, thank you for calling. I was a bit worried, but please don't feel terrible. These things happen to everyone." Now, you respond by offering to make amends. "I'd love that. How about Thursday?" Fantastic. You have just navigated a delicate personal conversation with sincerity, humility, and grace. You took responsibility, expressed genuine regret, and successfully repaired the connection with your friend. This is an advanced communication skill that goes far beyond just vocabulary. You are learning to express your heart in English. That was truly wonderful. Your ability to handle a sensitive apology with such grace and sincerity shows a deep and nuanced understanding of communication. Now, let's swing the pendulum from mending connections to celebrating them. We are going to practice a call that is filled with pure joy and excitement, calling a friend to congratulate them on a major life achievement. This type of call is all about energy, enthusiasm, and sharing in someone else's happiness. For this conversation, your tone of voice is just as important as the words you choose. You want to sound genuinely happy for them. Let's set the scene. You are scrolling through your phone and you see a post from your good friend, Mark. He just announced that he got a huge promotion at his job. You want to call him right away to share in his excitement. You dial his number, and when he answers, you can start with high energy. There is no need for a formal hello in a moment like this. You can jump right in, "Mark. Hey, it's Alex. I just saw your post, congratulations." Let's practice that enthusiastic opening. Try to put a real smile in your voice. Repeat after me, "Mark. Hey, it's Alex. I just saw your post, congratulations." Now it's your turn. Next, you want to amplify that excitement and invite your friend to share the story. You can say, "That is absolutely fantastic news. I am so thrilled for you. You have to tell me all about it. When did you find out?" Let's look at those powerful words. Absolutely fantastic and thrilled are strong, positive words that convey great joy. "You have to tell me all about it" is a very friendly and eager way to ask for details. Let's practice this part. Repeat after me, "That is absolutely fantastic news. I am so thrilled for you." Your friend, hearing your excitement, will be happy to share. He might say, "Alex, thanks so much for calling. I'm over the moon. My boss told me this afternoon. I still can't quite believe it. A crucial part of being a good friend is validating their success and showing them that you always believed in them. You can say, I can totally believe it. I'm not surprised at all. You have worked so hard for this, and you 100% deserve it. This calls for a celebration. Saying, I'm not surprised at all and you deserve it are incredibly supportive and affirming phrases. This calls for a celebration is a great, natural way to transition to making plans. Let's practice that validation. Repeat after me, I'm not surprised at all. You have worked so hard for this, and you 100% deserve it. The conversation now naturally leads to making plans. You can suggest, we absolutely have to get together and celebrate properly. Are you free this weekend for a celebratory dinner or some drinks? Now, let's shadow the key parts of this happy call. I will be your friend, Mark. You see my news and you call me. You can start the conversation. Alex. Thanks so much for calling. I'm over the moon. My boss told me this afternoon. I still can't quite believe it. Now you respond with excitement and validation. You're right, we do. I'm free Saturday. Let's make it happen. Thanks again for calling, it really means a lot to me. You just shared a moment of pure joy with a friend. Being able to express happiness for others is a beautiful skill, and you did it perfectly. You are not just learning English, you are learning to build and strengthen your friendships with it. Sharing in a friend's joy is one of the best parts of communication, and you handled that celebratory call beautifully. You have practiced making requests, giving information, and expressing a wide range of emotions. Now, let's focus on a critical skill for comprehension and empowerment, actively listening and asking clarifying questions. Sometimes, during a phone call, someone will give you information that is technical, confusing, or simply new to you. It is always your right to politely ask for a simpler explanation or for more details. Never feel like you have to pretend to understand. True communication is about shared understanding. Let's imagine you have a leaky pipe under your kitchen sink. You have already sent some pictures to a local plumber, and now he is calling you back to explain the problem and the solution. The plumber calls and says, "Hello, this is John the plumber returning your call. I've had a look at the pictures you sent. It looks like the issue isn't the pipe itself, but the P-trap fitting has corroded. We'll need to replace the whole assembly." Now, you might be thinking to yourself, what on earth is a P-trap? It is perfectly okay to ask. Don't just nod along. You can politely interrupt to ask for clarification. You can say, "I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with that term. Could you please explain what a P-trap is?" This is a fantastic, polite, and confident way to ask for more information. Let's practice it. Repeat after me, "I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with that term. Could you please explain what a P-trap is?" Now it's your turn. The plumber would then explain in simpler terms, of course. It's just that U-shaped pipe you see under the sink. Its job is to hold a little bit of water to block odors from coming up the drain. Okay, now you understand the what, but you might want to understand the why. He said the whole assembly needs to be replaced, but maybe it can just be repaired. You can ask for more justification. You could say, "Okay, that makes sense. And you mentioned the whole thing needs to be replaced? Is it not possible to just patch the corroded part? This is another excellent clarifying question. It shows that you are engaged and thinking critically about the situation. Let's practice it. Repeat after me, okay, that makes sense. And you mentioned the whole thing needs to be replaced? The plumber might reply, that's a good question. With this type of corrosion, a patch is only a temporary fix and it will likely leak again soon. Replacing the whole assembly is a permanent solution and will prevent future problems. Now you have all the information. You understand the what and the why. You can agree with confidence. You can say, I see. Thank you for explaining that so clearly. In that case, let's go ahead with the full replacement. When would you be able to do the work? Let's practice that final agreement. Repeat after me, I see. Thank you for explaining that so clearly. Let's go ahead with the full replacement. In this shadowing exercise, let's focus on your clarifying questions. I will be the plumber. Hello, this is John the plumber. It seems the problem isn't the main pipe, but the P-trap fitting has corroded and needs to be replaced. Now you ask for clarification on the term. Of course. It's just that U-shaped pipe you see under the sink. Now you ask why it needs to be replaced. That's a good question. Replacing the whole assembly is the only way to guarantee it won't be a problem in the future. Now you agree to the work. You just took control of a conversation where you were receiving confusing information and you turned it into a clear and productive dialogue. This skill of asking for clarification is one of the most empowering tools you can possibly have. That was absolutely perfect. By asking those clarifying questions, you ensured that you understood the situation completely before you agreed to anything. That is a skill that will serve you well in every single aspect of your life. You have proven that you are not just a passive listener, you are an active and engaged participant in your conversations. Now, let's use that skill in a slightly different context. We are going to practice a call where your primary goal is to gather a lot of information in order to make a decision. Let's imagine you are thinking about joining a new gym. You need to call them to find out about their prices, their hours, and, most importantly, their membership terms. You dial the number for the local fitness center. You can start with a simple and direct inquiry. You can say, "Hello, I'm calling to get some information about your gym memberships, please." Let's practice that clear opening. Repeat after me, "Hello, I'm calling to get some information about your gym memberships, please." Now it's your turn. The person at the front desk will likely be very helpful and enthusiastic. They might say, "That's great. We'd be happy to help. We have a few different options. What kind of information are you looking for?" This is where you take control of the conversation by asking your specific questions. For a call like this, it is a fantastic idea to have a list of questions ready before you even dial. For example, you could ask, "First, could you please tell me the price for a standard month-to-month membership? Second, what are your gym's hours during the week and on weekends? Third, does that membership include access to group classes, like yoga and spinning? And finally, a very important question, is there a long-term contract, or is it a month-to-month plan that I can cancel at any time?" Asking about the contract terms is absolutely crucial. Let's practice asking that list of questions. We will do it as a drill to build your confidence. Repeat each question after me. Could you please tell me the price for a standard month-to-month membership? What are your gym's hours during the week and on weekends? Does that membership include access to group classes? Is there a long-term contract, or can I cancel at any time? Excellent. The staff member would then provide the answers. For example, our month-to-month plan is $40. We are open from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. on weekdays, and 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on weekends. Yes, all classes are included. And no, there is no long-term contract, we just require 30 days notice to cancel. Now that you have all the information, you do not have to make a decision right away. You can end the call politely while you think about it. You can say, "That's all very clear. Thank you so much for taking the time to answer my questions. I'm going to think it over, and I might stop by for a tour later this week." This is a perfect, no-pressure way to end the call. Let's practice it. Repeat after me. Thank you so much for taking the time to answer my questions. I'm going to think it over. Now, let's do a quick shadow of the most important part, your questions. I will be the gym employee. That's great. We'd be happy to help. What information can I provide for you? Now you ask your series of questions. You just confidently gathered all the necessary information to make an informed decision. You are in complete control of the conversation, and you did it politely and efficiently. This is a skill you can use when calling any kind of business. Your information gathering skills are now top-notch. You can confidently call any business and get the precise details you need to make smart, informed decisions. Let's now switch our focus to a scenario where you are the one who needs to give important information in a professional context. We are going to practice a very common and essential phone call, calling in sick to work. This call needs to be handled with professionalism. The goal is to be clear, concise, and responsible. There is absolutely no need for a long, dramatic story about your illness. A simple, direct approach is always best. Let's set the scene. You wake up in the morning feeling quite unwell. You have a fever and a cough, and you know you cannot and should not go into the office. You need to call your manager, Sarah, to inform her that you will not be coming in. When your manager answers the phone, you should get straight to the point. You can say, "Good morning, Sarah. It's Alex calling. I'm afraid I need to call in sick today." This opening is perfect. It is polite, it clearly identifies you, and it uses the standard, universally understood professional phrase to call in sick. Let's practice it. Repeat after me. Good morning, Sarah. It's Alex calling. I'm afraid I need to call in sick today. Now it's your turn. While you do not need to share all of your private medical details, it is helpful and professional to give a brief, general reason for your absence. You could say, "I woke up with a fever and a bad cough, so I don't think it would be responsible for me to come into the office and risk getting my colleague sick." This is a great sentence. It gives a simple, factual reason and, more importantly, it shows that you are being considerate of the health of your team, which is something any manager will appreciate. Let's practice that. Repeat after me. I woke up with a fever and a bad cough, so I don't think it would be responsible for me to come into the office. Your manager will likely be understanding and supportive. She might say, "Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that, Alex. Thank you for letting me know. Please focus on resting and getting better. A responsible employee will also briefly mention their work to show their commitment. You can say, "Thank you. I will keep an eye on my email from home for anything urgent. I will also let you know later today how I'm feeling about tomorrow." This shows you are still thinking about your responsibilities. Keeping an eye on my email is a great phrase that doesn't promise you'll be working all day. And promising an update for the next day is very professional. Let's practice that. Repeat after me, "I will keep an eye on my email from home for anything urgent." Finally, your manager will likely tell you not to worry, and you can end the call. Let's do a full shadowing exercise. I will be your manager, Sarah. You wake up sick and you call me. You can start the conversation. "Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that, Alex. Thank you for letting me know. Please focus on resting and getting better." Now you respond about your work. "Okay, that sounds like a good plan. Don't worry too much about work, just rest up." You just handled a necessary professional duty with perfect clarity and responsibility. You gave clear information, you managed expectations for your work, and you were considerate of your colleagues. This is exactly how a true professional communicates. You are doing an amazing job. You handled that professional responsibility perfectly. Your communication skills are becoming so incredibly well-rounded, preparing you for any situation life might throw your way. Now, let's practice a situation that can be uncomfortable, but is very important for self-advocacy, making a complaint to get a problem solved. The key to a successful complaint is to remain calm, be firm, and state the facts clearly, rather than acting out of anger or emotion. Let's imagine you are traveling. You have just checked into your hotel room after a long day. You open the door, and you are shocked to discover that the room has not been cleaned. The bed is unmade, the trash is full, and there are used towels on the bathroom floor. You need to call the front desk immediately to get this resolved. You pick up the phone in your room. You should start by clearly identifying yourself and your location within the hotel. You can say, "Hello, this is Alex Miller in room 305. Let's practice that simple, clear start. Repeat after me, "Hello, this is Alex Miller in room 305. Now it's your turn. Next, you need to state the problem. Do not yell or make accusations. Just state the facts of the situation calmly and clearly. You can say, "I've just gotten to my room, and it appears that it has not been serviced from the previous guest. The bed is unmade and there are used towels on the floor." This is a perfect way to make a complaint. You are not saying you did a bad job. You are simply describing the situation factually. Using the phrase "it appears that" is a very polite and effective way to introduce the problem. Let's practice stating the problem. Repeat after me, "I've just gotten to my room, and it appears that it has not been serviced." A good hotel will respond with an immediate and sincere apology. The front desk agent might say, "Oh my goodness, Mr. Miller. I am so terribly sorry. That is completely unacceptable, and I sincerely apologize for this oversight." They should then immediately offer a solution. They might say, "We can either have housekeeping come to your room immediately for a full, deep cleaning, or we can move you to a new, clean room right away. What would you prefer?" Now you get to choose the solution that works best for you. Let's say you would rather just have a new room. You can say, thank you. I think I would prefer to be moved to a new room, please. Let's practice making that choice. Repeat after me, thank you. I think I would prefer to be moved to a new room, please. The agent will then finalize the solution. They might say, of course. I am moving you to room 412. I've upgraded you to one of our suites for the inconvenience. I am sending a bellman up with the new keys right now to assist you with your luggage. Your final response should acknowledge their help. That is very kind of you. Thank you for resolving this so quickly. Let's do a full shadowing exercise. I will be the front desk agent. You have just arrived in your dirty room and you are calling me. You can start the conversation. Oh my goodness, Mr. Miller. I am so terribly sorry. That is completely unacceptable, and I sincerely apologize for this oversight. We can either have housekeeping come to your room immediately, or we can move you to a new, clean room right away. What would you prefer? Now you respond. Of course. I am moving you to room 412. I've upgraded you to one of our suites for the inconvenience. I am sending a bellman up with the new keys right now to assist you with your luggage. Now you give your final thanks. You just turned a very negative situation into a positive outcome. By staying calm and factual, you got the problem solved efficiently and even received an upgrade. This is the art of effective communication. Turning a negative experience like that into a positive one through clear and calm communication is a truly advanced skill. You advocated for yourself perfectly. Let's now practice another common travel-related task, calling a car rental agency to get information for an upcoming trip. This call is all about gathering specific details so you can compare your options and make the best choice for your needs. Let's imagine you are planning a weekend trip for next month. You will be flying into a city and you need to rent a car from the airport. You are calling one of the major rental agencies to check their prices, availability, and policies. You can start the call with a very clear statement of your goal. You can say, "Hello, I'd like to get a quote for a car rental for an upcoming trip, please." Let's practice that clear and direct opening. Repeat after me, "Hello, I'd like to get a quote for a car rental for an upcoming trip, please." Now it's your turn. The rental agent will then need more specific information to be able to help you. They will likely ask, of course. I can certainly help with that. Can you please provide the pickup and drop-off dates, as well as the location? You should provide this information as clearly as possible. You could say, "Yes, I'm looking to pick up a car at the city airport on Friday, November 15th, around 10 in the morning. I would be returning it to the same location on Sunday, November 17th, in the evening." The agent will then look up the options for you. They might say, "Okay, for those dates, I can offer you a compact car, like a Ford Focus, for a total of $120 for the weekend." Now, you do not have to accept the first option they give you. You can, and should, ask for more information about other types of cars to compare. You could ask, "Okay, thank you. And what about a larger vehicle, like a mid-size SUV? What would the price be for that?" This is a great follow-up question that gives you more control. Let's practice it. Repeat after me, "What about a larger vehicle, like a mid-size SUV?" The agent might reply, "A mid-size SUV would be $180 for the weekend." Before you end the call, there are some very important questions to ask about the requirements. You can say, "That's very helpful. Could you also tell me what documents I will need to bring? And are there any age restrictions?" This is a crucial question. The agent will reply, "Yes, you will need a valid driver's license and a major credit card, both in the same name. The minimum age to rent from us is 25. Now you have all the information you need. You can end the call politely without making a booking just yet. You can say, "Perfect. Thank you so much for all your help. I will discuss this with my family and likely book online later today. Let's do a shadowing exercise. I will be the rental agent. You can start the call." Of course. I can certainly help with that. Can you please provide the pickup and drop-off dates, as well as the location? Now you respond. Okay, for those dates, I can offer you a compact car for a total of $120 for the weekend. Now you ask about a bigger car. A mid-size SUV would be $180 for the weekend. Now you ask about the requirements. Yes, you will need a valid driver's license and a major credit card in the same name. The minimum age to rent is 25. Now you close the call politely. You just expertly gathered all the necessary details for your trip, comparing options and asking critical questions. This is how you make smart decisions and travel with confidence and without surprises. You are becoming a true expert at navigating these essential service calls. Gathering all those details for the car rental was handled perfectly, ensuring you can make a smart and confident decision. Now, let's move on to a different kind of service appointment, one that involves more personal taste and requires you to use descriptive language, calling a hair salon to book an appointment. This type of call can sometimes feel intimidating because you have to describe a look you want, which can be subjective. However, with a few key phrases and descriptive words, you can communicate your vision clearly and confidently. Let's imagine you have decided it is time for a new look. You are calling a salon that a friend recommended to book an appointment for both a haircut and a new color. You can start the call by identifying yourself as a new client and stating what general services you need. You can say, "Hello, I'm a new client, and I'd like to book an appointment for a cut and color, please." Let's practice that helpful opening. Repeat after me, "Hello, I'm a new client, and I'd like to book an appointment for a cut and color, please." Now it's your turn. The receptionist will be happy to help. They might ask, "We'd love to have you. Do you have a specific day in mind that works for you?" You can give them your general availability. "I'm pretty flexible, but I was hoping for sometime next week in the afternoon, if possible." The receptionist finds a time. "Okay, I have an opening next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Would that work for you?" You agree, "Yes, Tuesday at 2 p.m. is perfect." Now comes the important descriptive part of the conversation. The receptionist might ask, "Great. Just so I can book the correct amount of time for you, can you tell me a little bit about your hair and what you're thinking of doing?" This is your chance to describe your vision. Be as specific as you can. For example, of course, "I have long, straight hair right now, about to the middle of my back. I'd like to cut a few inches off, maybe to my shoulder blades, and add some long layers for more volume. For the color, I was thinking of some subtle, natural-looking highlights." Let's break that down. You described your current hair, long, straight, the desired length. to my shoulder blades, the style, long layers for volume, and the color, subtle, natural-looking highlights. This is a perfect, clear description. Let's practice that descriptive part. It is a great way to build your vocabulary for describing appearances. Repeat after me. I'd like to cut a few inches off, maybe to my shoulder blades, and add some long layers for more volume. For the color, I was thinking of some subtle, natural-looking highlights. The receptionist will appreciate the detail. That's a perfect description, thank you. That helps a lot. I've booked you in for a cut and partial highlights with our stylist, Jessica, on Tuesday at 2 p.m. We will send you a confirmation text. You can close the call with a simple confirmation, "Wonderful. Thank you so much for your help. I'll see you then." Let's do a quick shadowing exercise. I will be the receptionist. Great. Just so I can book the correct amount of time for you, can you tell me a little bit about your hair and what you're thinking of doing? Now you give your detailed description. That's a perfect description, thank you. I've booked you in for a cut and partial highlights with our stylist, Jessica, on Tuesday at 2 p.m. Now you close the call. You just successfully communicated a creative and personal request. Using descriptive language like this opens up a whole new level of communication, allowing you to share your vision for anything, from a haircut to a home renovation project. You are doing fantastic work. Your ability to describe exactly what you want is fantastic, and that skill is useful in so many different situations. Now, let's switch from a longer, more descriptive call to a very common type of conversation that is all about speed and accuracy, placing a takeout order over the phone. These calls are usually quick and to the point, so being clear and efficient is the absolute key to success. There is no need for small talk. The goal is to communicate your order accurately. Let's set the scene. It is a busy Tuesday night, and you have decided to order food from your favorite local pizza place. You have already looked at their menu online, so you know exactly what you want to order. As always, being prepared is a great strategy that makes any phone call easier. You dial the number. You can start with a very direct opening that immediately states your purpose. You can say, "Hi, I'd like to place an order for pickup, please." This immediately tells the employee the purpose of your call. Let's practice it. Repeat after me. "Hi, I'd like to place an order for pickup, please." Now it's your turn. The person on the phone will likely say, "Okay, what can I get for you?" Now you state your order clearly. It is good practice to state the quantity and any specific choices or modifications. For example, I'd like to get 1 large pepperoni pizza and an order of the garlic bread with cheese. Let's practice placing that simple order. Repeat after me. I'd like to get 1 large pepperoni pizza and an order of the garlic bread with cheese. Now comes a very important step in the process, the confirmation. The employee will almost always repeat your order back to you to make sure they got it right. This is a critical moment for you to listen carefully. They might say, "Okay, so that's 1 large pepperoni pizza and 1 order of garlic bread with cheese. Is that all correct?" You need to listen and confirm. You can simply say, "Yes, that's correct." The employee will then give you the total price and the estimated time until your food will be ready. They will say something like, "Great. Your total is $24.75, and it will be ready in about 15 to 20 minutes. The final step is for you to provide your name for the order and end the call. You can say, Okay, perfect. The name for the order is Alex. I'll see you in about 20 minutes. Thanks. Let's practice that final part. Repeat after me. Okay, perfect. The name for the order is Alex. I'll see you in about 20 minutes. Thanks. Now, let's do a full shadowing exercise of this quick and common call. I will be the pizza shop employee. You can start the call. Okay, what can I get for you? Now you place your order. Okay, so that's 1 large pepperoni pizza and 1 order of garlic bread with cheese. Is that all correct? Now you confirm. Great. Your total is $24.75, and it will be ready in about 15 to 20 minutes. Now you give your name and end the call. Excellent. That was a fast, efficient, and successful conversation. You stated what you wanted, you listened carefully to the confirmation to ensure accuracy, and you ended the call politely. These short, everyday calls are a huge part of daily life, and you just proved you can handle them with absolute ease. You are building a complete set of skills for every possible situation. That was perfect. Your efficiency on that takeout call was truly impressive. You have proven that you can handle quick, transactional conversations with no problem at all. Now, let's practice the complete opposite, a longer, more relaxed social call where the only goal is to simply connect with someone you care about. We are going to practice calling a friend who you have not spoken to in a while, just to catch up. This type of conversation is less about completing a task and more about the art of listening, asking good questions, and strengthening personal relationships. Let's imagine you are thinking about your good friend, Sarah. It has been a few weeks since you last talked, and you decide to give her a call to see how she is doing. When she answers the phone, you can start with a warm opening that acknowledges the time that has passed. You could say, Sarah. Hi, it's Alex. I know it's been a little while, but I was just thinking about you and wanted to call and see how you're doing. This is a perfect, friendly opening. I was just thinking about you is a wonderful and sincere reason to call someone. Let's practice it. Repeat after me. I know it's been a little while, but I was just thinking about you and wanted to see how you're doing. Now it's your turn. Your friend will be happy to hear from you. She might say, Alex. It's so great to hear your voice. I'm doing well, thanks for asking. I've just been busy with work. How have you been? After you briefly answer, the key to a good catch-up call is to ask open-ended questions that get the other person talking. Instead of questions that have a simple yes or no answer, you should ask questions that start with what or how. For example, I'm doing well, thanks. But tell me, what have you been up to lately? Anything new and exciting? What have you been up to lately is a fantastic open-ended question. Let's practice it. Repeat after me. What have you been up to lately? Anything new and exciting? Now, the most important part of this call is active listening. Imagine Sarah says, actually, yes. I finally signed up for that pottery class I was telling you about a while ago. Your job is to show that you are listening and to ask a follow-up question. You could say, no way, that's so cool. How is it? Are you enjoying it? This shows that you remember your previous conversations and that you are genuinely interested in her life. After you have talked about her life for a bit, she will likely turn the conversation back to you. This is when you can share a short update from your own life. A good conversation should be a balanced, two-way street. To end the call, you can make loose plans to see each other soon. You can say, "Well, it has been so good to catch up with you. We really shouldn't let it be so long next time. Let's grab coffee for real next week." Let's practice that warm closing. Repeat after me, "It has been so good to catch up with you. We should definitely grab coffee next week." Let's do a quick shadow of the key conversational phrases. I will be your friend Sarah. You are calling me after a few weeks. You can start. Alex. It's so great to hear your voice. I'm doing well, thanks for asking. Just busy with work. How have you been? Now you ask me an open-ended question. Actually, yes. I finally signed up for that pottery class I was telling you about. Now you ask a follow-up question. You just had a natural, warm, and connecting conversation. This is how friendships are maintained. It is not just about grammar, it is about genuine interest and care, and you express that perfectly. Having a warm, connecting conversation like that is such a wonderful skill. You are not just speaking English, you are actively building and maintaining your community. Now, let's practice another very common and happy social call, inviting a friend to a specific event. This type of call is all about sharing your excitement and making someone feel welcome and wanted. Your tone should be upbeat, friendly, and enthusiastic. Let's set the scene. Your birthday is coming up next weekend, and you are planning to have a small, casual barbecue at your house to celebrate. You are calling your good friend, Mark, to invite him personally. You can start the call in a friendly way and check his availability before you even mention the party. This is a very common and polite technique. You could say, "Hey Mark, it's Alex. How are you doing? Quick question for you, do you have any plans for next Saturday evening?" Let's practice that casual opening. Repeat after me, "Hey Mark, it's Alex. Do you have any plans for next Saturday evening?" Now it's your turn. Your friend will likely say something like, "Hey Alex. I'm doing well. And no, I don't think I have any plans for next Saturday." Why? What's up? This is the perfect opening for you to extend the invitation. You can say, "That's great to hear. Well, next Saturday is actually my birthday, and I'm having a casual barbecue at my house to celebrate. I would really love it if you could come." Let's analyze that. "I would really love it if you could come" is a very warm and personal way to invite someone. It makes them feel genuinely wanted, much more so than just asking, "Do you want to come?" Let's practice the invitation itself. Repeat after me, "I'm having a casual barbecue at my house to celebrate, and I would really love it if you could come." Your friend will likely be excited to accept. He might say, "A birthday barbecue. That sounds awesome, man. Of course, I'll be there. What time should I head over?" Now you need to provide the key details for the event. You can say, "Fantastic. It's going to be super relaxed. Just come by any time after 3 p.m. And you don't need to bring anything at all, just yourself." The phrase "just bring yourself" is a very common and hospitable thing to say when you are the host. It tells your guests not to worry about bringing a gift or food. Let's practice giving the details. Repeat after me, just come by any time after 3 p.m. And you don't need to bring anything, just yourself. The call will end with your friend confirming and looking forward to the event. Let's do a full shadowing exercise. I will be your friend, Mark. You are calling me to invite me to your party. You can start the conversation. Hey, Alex. I'm doing well. And no, I don't think I have any plans for next Saturday. Why? What's up? Now you give the invitation. A birthday barbecue. That sounds awesome, man. Of course, I'll be there. What time should I head over? Now you provide the details. Sounds perfect. I'm really looking forward to it. Happy early birthday! You just successfully hosted a warm and welcoming invitation. You made your friend feel wanted, you gave them all the necessary information clearly, and you set the stage for a wonderful celebration. These are the conversations that fill life with joy, and you are learning to have them with confidence in English. That was fantastic. Your ability to extend a warm, clear, and enthusiastic invitation is a wonderful social skill that will bring a lot of joy to your life. But just as important as knowing how to invite someone is knowing how to politely decline an invitation when you are not able to attend. This can be a tricky conversation, but with the right words and a sincere tone, you can say no while still showing how much you value the friendship. Let's practice the art of the polite refusal. Imagine your friend, Sarah, calls you. She sounds very excited. She says, "Hey Alex. It's Sarah. I'm so excited. I'm finally having my housewarming party this Saturday night, and I would be so happy if you could make it. Now, unfortunately, you already have an important family commitment that night that you absolutely cannot miss. Your goal is to decline her invitation without hurting her feelings or making her feel rejected. The very first step is to react positively to her news and thank her for the invitation. This is crucial. You can say, "Oh, Sarah, a housewarming party. That is so exciting, congratulations. Thank you so much for thinking of me and for the invitation." Let's practice that positive opening. Repeat after me, "That is so exciting, congratulations. Thank you so much for thinking of me and for the invitation." Now it's your turn. Next, you have to deliver the bad news. It is best to express your genuine disappointment. You can say, "I am so bummed, but I actually can't make it on Saturday night." "I'm so bummed" is a great, informal, and common way to say "I'm so disappointed." Let's practice that part. Repeat after me, "I am so bummed, but I actually can't make it on Saturday night." At this point, it is often a good idea to give a brief and honest reason. You do not have to, but it helps the other person understand that you have a legitimate conflict. You could say, "It's my parents' wedding anniversary that night, and we have a big family dinner planned that I can't get out of." Finally, to show that you truly do want to celebrate with her, you can suggest an alternative plan. This is a key step that reinforces the friendship. You could say, "But I would love to celebrate with you and see your new place. How about we grab lunch or coffee next week? I'd love to hear all about it." This shows that you are declining the event, not the person. Let's practice suggesting an alternative. Repeat after me, "But I would love to celebrate with you. How about we grab lunch or coffee next week?" Let's do a full shadowing exercise. I will be your friend Sarah, inviting you to my party. Hey Alex. It's Sarah. I'm so excited. I'm finally having my housewarming party this Saturday night, and I would be so happy if you could make it. Now you respond, starting with the positive reaction and thanks, and then delivering the bad news. Oh, that's a shame. Well, what's the reason? Now you give your brief, honest reason. Oh, of course. An anniversary dinner is so important, you can't miss that. Don't worry about it at all. Now you suggest an alternative plan. I would love that. Let's do it. You just handled a very delicate social situation with perfect grace. You made your friend feel celebrated, you expressed genuine regret, and you strengthened your friendship by making alternative plans. This is a very advanced and important communication skill. Your ability to navigate that tricky social situation with such grace was truly impressive. You are developing a real sensitivity and emotional intelligence in your English communication. Now, let's practice another deeply important personal call, calling a friend who is going through a difficult time to offer your support. This conversation is all about empathy, listening, and offering practical help. The tone should be calm, gentle, and, above all, sincere. Let's set the scene. You have heard from a mutual friend that your good friend, Mark, is having a very stressful week. His mother is unwell and in the hospital, and he has been spending a lot of time there. You want to call him to let him know that you are thinking of him and to offer support. You should start the call gently. You do not want to sound overly cheerful or energetic. You can say, "Hey Mark, it's Alex. I was talking to Sarah earlier, and she mentioned what's going on with your mom. I just wanted to call and check in on you and see how you're holding up." Let's break that down. To check in on you and to see how you're holding up are very gentle and caring ways to start this kind of conversation. Let's practice that opening. Repeat after me, "I just wanted to call and check in on you and see how you're holding up." Now it's your turn. Your friend will appreciate the call, even if he sounds tired. He might say, "Hey Alex. Yeah, it's been a lot. Thanks for calling, I really appreciate it." The most important thing you can do now is to simply listen. You can invite him to talk, but it is crucial to do so without applying any pressure. You can say, "Of course, man. I can only imagine how difficult this must be. I'm here if you ever want to talk about it, but seriously, no pressure at all if you don't feel like it." "I can only imagine" shows empathy. "I'm here if you want to talk" is a simple, powerful offer of support. And "no pressure at all" gives him an easy out. Let's practice that. Repeat after me, "I'm here if you want to talk about it, but seriously, no pressure at all." Next, it is wonderful to offer specific, practical help. A vague offer like "let me know if you need anything" is often hard for people to act on. A specific offer is much better. You could say, "I know you're probably swamped. I was thinking, can I help out in a practical way? For example, could I drop off some dinner for you tomorrow, or maybe take your dog for a walk?" This is so much more helpful because it gives your friend an easy yes. Let's practice making a specific offer. Repeat after me, "Can I drop off some dinner for you tomorrow, or maybe take your dog for a walk?" Your friend might be relieved to accept your help. He could say, "Wow, Alex. That's incredibly kind of you. Actually, if you could walk the dog tomorrow afternoon, that would be a huge weight off my mind." You can close the call by confirming the plan and offering one last bit of support. You can say, "Consider it done. I'll come by around 3 p.m. And hey, hang in there, okay? We're all thinking of you." Hang in there is a great idiom for encouragement. Let's do a quick shadow of the key phrases. I will be Mark. You call me. You can start. Hey Alex. Yeah, it's been a lot. Thanks for calling, I appreciate it. Now you offer to listen. Wow, Alex. That's incredibly kind of you. Actually, if you could walk the dog tomorrow afternoon, that would be a huge weight off my mind. Now you confirm and close the call. You just provided real, meaningful support to a friend in need. This is perhaps the most important communication skill of all, using your words to show that you truly care. Your ability to show such empathy and support to a friend in need is a testament to how far you have come. You are not just learning phrases, you are learning to connect with people on a deep, human level, and that is a beautiful thing. For our final practice scenario today, let's bring together many of the skills we have worked on into one complex, professional situation, participating in a work conference call. This scenario requires you to listen carefully, ask clarifying questions when you need to, and state your own opinions and suggestions in a clear, confident, and collaborative way. Let's set the scene. You are on a conference call with your manager, Sarah, and your colleague, David. The goal of the meeting is to discuss the plan for a new and exciting project. Your manager, Sarah, starts the call. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining. The purpose of this call is to finalize the marketing plan for our upcoming product launch. David, could you please start by giving us an overview of the proposed social media strategy? As David speaks, your first job is to listen actively and take notes. When he finishes his presentation, it is your turn to contribute. You can start by asking a clarifying question to make sure you fully understand the plan before you add your own ideas. You could say, "Thanks, David, that sounds like a great foundation. I just have one quick question for clarity. When you mentioned the budget for video content, does that include the budget for a professional videographer, or is that a separate line item?" This is an excellent, specific question that shows you were paying attention. Let's practice it. Repeat after me. I just have one quick question for clarity. Does the budget for video content include a professional videographer? Now it's your turn. After David answers, you can then build on the conversation by adding your own suggestion. It is always effective to connect your idea to what has already been said. You could say, "Okay, thank you for clarifying. Building on David's idea for video content, I have a suggestion. I think we should create a series of short, 15-second teaser videos specifically for Instagram Reels and TikTok. The data shows that engagement on those platforms is highest with very short, dynamic content. This is a perfect contribution." You used the collaborative phrase building on David's idea, you stated your suggestion clearly, and you provided a reason to support it. Let's practice making that suggestion. Repeat after me, building on David's idea, I have a suggestion. I think we should create a series of short teaser videos for Instagram Reels and TikTok. Your manager, Sarah, is impressed. She says, "That's an excellent suggestion, Alex." I completely agree. Let's make that an action item. Alex, can you take the lead on developing a concept for those teaser videos? You can confidently accept the task, absolutely. I'd be happy to take the lead on that. I'll have a draft concept ready by the end of the week. Let's do a final shadowing exercise. I will be your colleague David, and then your manager Sarah. I have just finished my presentation. Now you ask your clarifying question about the budget. That's a good question. No, that budget does not include a videographer. We would need to budget for that separately. Now you make your suggestion about the teaser videos. That's an excellent suggestion, Alex. I completely agree. Let's make that an action item. Alex, can you take the lead on developing a concept for those teaser videos? Now you accept the task. You have just successfully navigated a professional conference call, contributing in a meaningful, intelligent, and confident way. You have come so far, from simple greetings to complex negotiations and heartfelt conversations. You have all the tools you need to handle any phone call that comes your way. Your ability to show such empathy and support is a testament to how far you have come. You are not just learning phrases, you are learning to connect with people on a deep and meaningful human level. For our next scenario, let's move into some advanced practice, focusing on situations that require a bit of tact and gentle persuasion. We are going to practice a call where you are asking for permission to do something, requesting an exception or a special favor. The key here is to be respectful, responsible, and to frame your request in a way that makes it very easy for the other person to say yes. Let's imagine you live in a rental apartment. You love the space, but you would really like to paint the living room a new color to make it feel more like your own. Your lease agreement states that you need to get permission from your landlord, Mr. Smith, for any alterations. You start the call in a friendly and respectful way. Hi, Mr. Smith, this is Alex Miller calling from apartment 3B. I hope you're having a good day. I'm just calling with a quick question about the apartment. Now comes the persuasive request. You want to show that you are a responsible tenant and that you have already thought through his potential concerns. You could say, as you know, I've been living here for a couple of years now and I really enjoy it. I was hoping to make it feel even more like home, and I was wondering if I could get your permission to paint the living room. I would, of course, hire a professional painter to do the job, and I'm happy to either choose a neutral color that you approve of, or sign an agreement to paint it back to the original white before I eventually move out. Let's analyze why this is so persuasive. You started with a positive statement, I really enjoy it. You proactively addressed his concerns about quality, hire a professional painter, and the future, paint it back. This shows you are a responsible and considerate tenant. Let's practice that key persuasive request. Repeat after me, I was wondering if I could get your permission to paint the living room. I would hire a professional and I'm happy to agree to paint it back to white before I move out. Your landlord, Mr. Smith, is likely to be impressed by your responsible approach. He might say, well, Alex, I really appreciate you calling to ask me first. That's very considerate. Given that you've been an excellent tenant and you've offered to handle it so professionally, I don't have a problem with that. Why don't you send me the color you're thinking of, just so I can approve it? Your response should be full of appreciation. You can say, that is wonderful news. Thank you so much, Mr. Smith, I really appreciate your flexibility on this. I will email you a couple of color samples tonight. Thanks again. Let's do a shadowing exercise. I will be your landlord, Mr. Smith. You call me to ask your question. You can start. Hi, Alex. I'm doing well, thank you. What can I do for you? Now you make your persuasive request. Well, Alex, I really appreciate you calling to ask me first. That's very considerate. Given that you've been an excellent tenant and you've offered to handle it so professionally, I don't have a problem with that. Why don't you send me the color you're thinking of, just so I can approve it? Now you respond with appreciation and confirm the next step. You just successfully used persuasive language to get a yes. By anticipating and addressing the other person's concerns, you made it easy for them to agree with you. This is a very powerful communication strategy that you can use in many areas of your life. That was a brilliant use of persuasive language. You demonstrated how being responsible and considerate can help you achieve your goals in a collaborative way. Now, let's take that skill one step further into the realm of negotiation. This is a powerful life skill, and it is all about communicating your value and your position clearly, politely, and firmly. We are going to practice a very common and practical negotiation, calling a service provider, like your internet or cable company, to ask for a better price on your monthly bill. Let's set the scene. You have been a customer with your internet provider for several years, and you have noticed that your bill has slowly crept up in price. You recently saw an advertisement for new customers offering a much lower price for the exact same service. You are calling to see if you can get that better rate. When you call, you will want to speak to the billing or customer retention department. Once you have an agent on the line, you can begin. Hello, my name is Alex Miller. I'm calling today to discuss my current internet plan and the monthly rate. Now comes the polite but firm negotiation. You want to state your case clearly, starting with your value as a customer. You can say, "Hi, I've been a happy customer for over 3 years now, and I've always been pleased with the service. However, I've noticed my bill has increased to $90 a month. I also saw a promotion for new customers for the same plan at $50 a month. I was hoping you could help me find a more competitive rate, as I would really like to stay with your company." Let's analyze this. You stated your loyalty. You presented the facts. And you stated your desire to stay, which gives them an incentive to help you. This is a perfect opening. Let's practice it. Repeat after me. I've noticed my bill has increased, and I saw a lower price for new customers. I was hoping you could help me find a more competitive rate. The agent might make an initial, lower offer. They could say, "I see. Well, as a valued customer, I can offer you a $15 monthly discount for the next 6 months. This is good, but it is not the best deal." You can gently push for more. You can say, "I appreciate that offer, thank you. However, that's still quite a bit higher than the new customer rate. To be frank, I am considering switching to another provider that has a better offer. Is there anything more you can do to get closer to the $50 rate?" This is the key negotiation moment. To be frank means to be honest. And mentioning you are considering switching is your main point of leverage. Let's practice that gentle pushback. Repeat after me. I appreciate the offer, but I am considering switching providers. Is there anything more you can do? Faced with the possibility of losing a customer, the agent will often find a better deal. They might say, "Okay, let me see. Because you are a long-term customer, it looks like I am able to extend that new customer promotion to your account." I can lock you in at the $50 rate for the next 12 months. Now you have succeeded. You can close the call with gratitude. That is fantastic. That's exactly what I was hoping for. Thank you so much for your help with this. I really appreciate you finding that solution for me. Let's do a quick shadow of the key phrases. I am the agent. You have stated your case. I say, I can offer you a $15 monthly discount. Now you give your gentle pushback. Okay, let me see. I am able to extend the new customer promotion to your account. Now you respond with gratitude. You just successfully negotiated a better deal for yourself, saving money every month simply by using polite, firm, and strategic language. This is a skill that literally pays for itself. That negotiation was the perfect culmination of everything we have practiced. You were polite, firm, clear, and strategic. It shows that you have truly mastered the art of communication, and I am incredibly impressed. And with that, we come to the final part of our journey together. You have practiced dozens of scenarios, from the simplest greetings to the most complex personal and professional conversations. You have patiently built an incredible toolkit of phrases, strategies, and skills. The only thing left to do is to fully embrace the confidence that you have earned. For this final part, let's do a quick, final review. Think of it as a friendly test of your new instincts. I am going to give you a mini scenario, and I want you to think of the single best opening line you would use. Do not overthink it. Just go with your first, confident thought. Are you ready? First, you need to call your dentist's office to schedule a cleaning. What do you say? Second, you receive a call from a salesperson, but you are not interested in their product. What do you say? Third, you just saw on social media that your best friend got engaged. You call them immediately. What is the first thing you say? Fourth, you need to call a plumber because your kitchen sink is leaking. What do you say? Fifth, you are calling a local restaurant to reserve a table for 2 for Friday night. What do you say? And sixth, you missed an important deadline at work and you need to call your boss to apologize. How do you start that difficult conversation? Take a moment. Think about your answers. Do you have them? I am willing to bet that the answers came to you much more easily and naturally than they would have when we first started. Here are the kinds of powerful, clear lines you have mastered. For the dentist, hello, I'd like to schedule an appointment for a dental cleaning, please. For the salesperson, thank you for the call, but I'm not interested. Have a good day. For your friend, Sarah. I just saw the news. Oh my gosh, congratulations on your engagement. For the plumber, hello, I need to book a service call. I have a leak under my kitchen sink. For the restaurant, hi, I'd like to make a reservation for 2 people for this Friday night, please. For your boss, hi, Mr. Johnson. It's Alex. I'm calling to sincerely apologize for missing the project deadline. Look at how far you have come. You started this journey perhaps feeling nervous or uncertain about speaking on the phone in English. Now, you have practiced everything from ordering food to negotiating bills, from making apologies to celebrating with friends, from handling complaints to asking for help. You have learned to be clear, confident, polite, firm, empathetic, and persuasive. The goal was never to be perfect. The goal was to be prepared. The goal was to be confident. And you have achieved that. This is the end of our practice together, but it is the beginning of you using these skills in your everyday life with total ease. You are ready. Now, go out and talk. You've got this.